Hello, my name is Unspecified, and I wanted to read through the terms of service. Sorry. I want to read through the terms of service for Side Plus today, because I think it's more important that people listen to these things or read these things. To clear things up, though, to begin with, I'm not associated with the Sidemen, I'm not connected with them, I'm not reading this as an example of bad terms of service or anything like that. So this is not a misrepresentation, and it's not promotional either. I just think more people should read terms and conditions generally, and wanted to read this out for those who don't know where to find it. I am currently signed in and recording the screen. I'm on the terms of service page, but just in case, I feel the need to say, in case the screen is currently black, the reason for that is because it is a private area, and recording private things doesn't tend to work on phones like this. I also have Tourette's, so these sorts of noises that I'm making, pops, clicks, grunts, such, that is out of my control, as are any out of the ordinary things that I might say. So, but if I focus hard enough, I should be able to get past it without ticking too much. So it shouldn't be too big a worry, hopefully. If the screen is black, I'm going to be linking the page for you to read it yourself. But I'm only doing this for those who are unable to read it, for whatever reason that they have not to read it. I'm also only going to be reading through the terms of service. I'm not going to be reading through privacy policy or cookie policy or anything like that. Just the terms of service, the terms of use, it's written as on here. Why am I doing this? Because I'm bored and have nothing better to do with my time. So I'll start by reading the little preface thing that I have here. It says, Sidemen Entertainment Limited, quoted as we, us, or our, owns and operates Side Plus platform at www.sideplus.com and the content hosted therein, Side Plus. These terms and conditions, along with the privacy policy and cookie policy, quoted as the terms, apply and shall have effect in respect of all use of Side Plus, including subscriptions. Our privacy policy and cookie policy, which can be found here, it's linked, deals with how we manage and protect your personal information. Please read the terms carefully before accessing or using or subscribing to Side Plus. By accessing, using, or subscribing, you accept the terms. We may need to change the terms of service to reflect changes in the law or best practice, or to deal with additional features which they may introduce in the future. Unless otherwise stated, all amendments will be effective upon posting of such updated terms. Your continued access or use of Side Plus after such posting constitutes your consent to be bound by the terms and as amended. It starts off by stating who may use the platform. It states that you must be 18 years old to use Side Plus and to purchase a subscription, subject to the remainder of the clause. In section 2, they state who can create an account or how to create an account, and why you need to. 2.1, it says that in order to subscribe to Side Plus, you will need to register, for which you will need to submit a certain information and choose a password. To what I remember, you require your email, credit card information, obviously, and your name, and of course a password as stated. You may change the information at any point. I've already had to do that in order to reflect my whatever that I may have done incorrectly. 2.2, you undertake that all information supplied during registration is truthful, complete, and correct. You accept and understand that you are obliged to ensure that all information held about you by us is up to date. 2.3. The password chosen by you upon registration with Side Plus is personal to you. In order to enable your use and access to Side Plus, you must not be disclosed to any third party without or their prior written consent. 2.4. In the event that you believe your password or account to have been compromised, you must inform them immediately. You agree that you are and shall remain responsible for maintaining the confidentiality of your password and account. You accept and understand that you are solely liable for any use of Side Plus undertaken by your use of your password and account. Stuttering slightly, I'm sorry. 2.5. We may, at our soul's discretion, refuse to create a user account for you, limit the number of user accounts you may create or maintain, stipulate additional conditions and requirements for opening, maintaining of user accounts. In Section 3, they discuss subscriptions. 3.1. In order to enjoy the full access to Side Plus, you need to register for Side Plus and pay for a subscription. Information on the features and prices of the Side Plus membership can be found at the website, quoted as membership benefits. The membership benefits and prices are subject to change by us from time to time. 3.2. You currently have the option of 2 subscription choices as listed below. A subscription starts on the date that you sign up for the subscription and submit payments using a valid payment method as defined below. 1. A monthly subscription. Your monthly subscription will automatically renew each month, and we will automatically bill monthly subscription fee to your payment method each month on or around the date of the month your first payment was made, until your subscription is cancelled or terminated. For example, if you purchase your subscription on the 5th of January, your subscription will automatically renew on the 5th of February and March, and for every month for as long as you are subscribed. And the payment will be taken from your payment method on around that date. I believe you have to manually cancel a subscription unless it is terminated by management or whoever runs it. 2. Full year subscription. Your subscription will automatically renew each year, and we will automatically bill the yearly subscription fee to your payment method or around the date in the year your first payment was made until your subscription is cancelled or terminated. For example, if you purchase it on March the 1st of 2021, your subscription will automatically renew on 1st of March 2022, which isn't possible. I'm reading too deep into it. I should shut up. Section 4, payment methods. 4.1, you must provide us with a correct, current, valid, accepted method of payment, as quoted as payment method, as set out to you on the Side Plus payment page. We may update the payment methods from time to time. And 4.2, if we cannot change your account, we reserve the right, but are not obligated to terminate your access to Side Plus or any portion thereof. 5.6 details your cancellations. 5.1, unless we communicate otherwise, you may terminate your subscriptions at any time before your subscription renews by amending your subscription within Side Plus. 5.2, unless we communicate otherwise, following any cancellation, you will continue to have access to your subscription throughout the end of your current prepaid subscription period. So if you were to start your subscription right now and then cancel it in 5 minutes, you would still have a month's worth of content, and you will lose your access on the day that your subscription would renew had you continued it. As a digital content provider, whilst there is no cancellation fee, we are not obliged to offer you a refund on existing payments made to us if you have begun using Side Plus service during your subscription and then decide to cancel prior to the monthly renewal or annual renewal as applicable. 5.3. If you cancel your subscription or it is terminated for any reason, you will lose access to the full Side Plus functionality and content. Section 6 details the use of Side Plus. 6.1. Subject to your compliance with all conditions of the terms, we grant you non-exclusive, personal, revocable, non-sub-licensable, non-transferable, limited license access to SidePlus solely for your own personal, non-commercial purposes until 1. In the case of public content, until we remove or disable access to such content, and 2. In the case of prepaid for content, subject to payment of your subscription fee. You acknowledge that your use of SidePlus grants you no rights to in or to SidePlus, the contents of SidePlus, or any of our intellectual property rights, including copyright, designs, database rights, formats, trademarks, or patents, other than the right as set out above. 6.2. You must not 1. Use, copy, transfer, or distribute SidePlus or any part of it. 2. Modify, adapt, merge, translate, decompile, disassemble, or reverse engineer SidePlus. 3. Avoid, bypass, remove, deactivate, impair, descramble, or otherwise circumvent any technological measure or territorial restrictions implemented by them. 4. Remove, modify, or tamper with any copyright, trademark, or other notice. Or 5. Use it for any illegal, unlawful, or immoral purposes. 6.3. SidePlus may contain links to or otherwise integrate or embed other independent websites which are not provided by us, quoted as third-party websites. Such independent sites are not under our control. We are not responsible for and have not checked or approved their content or their privacy policies, if any apply. You will need to make your own independent judgment about whether to use such independent sites, including whether to buy any product or service offered by them. 6.4. You must comply with the terms which apply to the third-party websites, which apply to any provider of a membership benefit from time to time, which includes but is not limited to Vimeo. Vimeo, for those who don't know, they are the people who supply the video content. They are the platform from which the videos are played. If you want to read their terms, you can go to their website, find that for yourself. I'm sure that any reader apps that you use to read things for you off your phone will work over there, as they will on the SidePlus terms of service. Section 7 details the prizes and competitions in general. This is a pretty long one from what I've read it from. So bear with this one, but there is a lot to get into. 7.1, about it. They've titled it. About prizes. From time to time, SidePlus subscribers may be able to enter into prize competitions. The full details of each competition, quoted as competition, will be set out on the page within SidePlus, quoted as competition information page. These terms apply to such competitions in addition to any terms set out or incorporated in the competition information page. In case of a conflict, the terms set out in the confirmation information page shall prevail. 7.2. Eligibility. In order to make a valid entry into the competition, you must 1. Hold a valid subscription at the time of entry and continue to hold such valid subscription at the time when the winner is chosen. 7.22. 2. Follow the steps as set out in the competition information page and in these terms, which include correctly answering a skill-based question. I have entered a few of the competitions. The questions are easy enough. There were 4 of them, and I think they're just there as a way to make sure there are no false entries, to make sure that bot entries are discounted, such as such and such. 3. Be a legal resident of or physically located at the time of entry in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland, the USA, excluding Rhode Island, or Australia or another jurisdiction where participation in competitions of that nature on these terms are lawful. 4. Unless otherwise stated, enter as an individual only, not as part of a syndicate, group, or agency. 5. Not be an employee, officer, contractor, consultant, or other personnel of the Sidemen or otherwise directly or indirectly connected with its administration of the competition. And 6. Meet any other criteria set out in the competition information page. For example, the 100k club competition, which is the idea where they invite people out to spend 100k with each other. That is restricted. There are terms on that are restricted to people above the age of 18 only, or are the age of 18. People under the age of 18 are not allowed to enter that one. 7.3. You may not participate in the competition unless you meet the eligibility requirements set forth above. 7.4. No payment is necessary to enter a competition. 7.5. Entries are limited to 1 entry per Side Plus subscription per competition. Any duplicate entries will be disregarded. So, if you entered once, but you're not sure whether or not that entrance went through because your page refreshed midway through, and you're not sure if it still counted, and you go in a second time, the second time will not count if the first one did. So I think you should still be in the competition, though I'm not entirely sure about that. You'll have to wait for someone else to explain that, if I am wrong. I should also state that I'm not held responsible for any factual inaccuracies I make during reading this. I am just reading what I have seen on the page. 7.6. How to enter. To enter a competition during the promotion period displayed on the competition information page is go to this promotion period. You shall be required to follow the steps set out in the competition information page. 7.7. Additional postage and packaging costs may apply for any prizes or benefits delivered via Side Plus. For example, Sidemen are based in London. I am very far away in a dark corner of Wales, which I'm not very happy to live in. If there is any packaging, postage and packaging payments required to get any prizes that I may win to me, such as a PS5 prize, if there is any postage payment that is required, I may be required to pay that, and you may be too if they apply to you. Winner selection following expiry of the promotion period. The winner or winners, if there are multiple prizes, shall be selected by us as follows, unless anything to the contrary is set out in the competition information page. We will randomly select the winners using computer software from all valid entries, which answer the skill-based question correctly. The odds of winning are dependent on the number of entries, so for example, if there are 100 entrants, which I'm sure there are way more, if there are 100 entrants, your chances of winning are 1 in 100. If there are 1,000, your chances are 1 in 1,000. So there is not a fixed probability that you will win. Where am I? The winners will be notified via email within the time specified in the competition information page, and we may ask for identification to prove your identity and eligibility. You must ensure that you check your email in order to avoid missing the notification, as we shall not be liable in the event that any notification is not received by a winning entrant in such circumstances. So if you forget to read the email, that is your fault. Our decisions relating to the competition shall be final and binding in all respects. No correspondence will be entered into. So, for example, if you didn't win and you start going on to them about how you should have won, they are not going to reverse their decision and give you the win instead. I believe there is something on disqualification, but you cannot convince them to choose you. The process is always random and final once it is decided. Prizes. The prizes awarded to the winners of the competition will be set out on the competition information page. I keep saying that wrong. Prior to the entry, they quoted as the prizes. The prizes are not negotiable, nor can they be exchanged for alternatives. So, for example, if you won a PS5, but you instead would have wanted to have won the exclusive shirt you cannot exchange them. You will not be given anything else. Although I believe once you've obtained it, it is entirely your decision what you decide to do with that prize. So if you want to sell it or put it anywhere else, you can do that. I've read that. Prizes may be transferred to a subject to our sole discretion. So if you wish to convert your prize to another member of Side Plus, you can do that. That is entirely your choice, and that decision must go through the people who moderate the competition first. So if they deny that request, it won't happen. 7.10 In-person prizes, where we offer prizes which consist of attending live or in-person events, for example meet and greets. The time, date, and location of such events shall be determined by us in our sole discretion, subject to clause 7.7. 7.7 was the additional postage and packaging costs clause. In the event that we permit you to transfer your prize to another guest who is younger than 18 years of age, 18 years old, sorry. I spoke before I read it. Then such guest must be accompanied by an adult, and you shall remain liable for their compliance with these terms. For the avoidance of doubt with respect to in-person prizes relating to the 100K Club, such prizes will only be available for individuals who are at least 18 years of age and shall not be transferable to any individual who is not at least 18 years of age. So you cannot get your 16-year-old brother, for example, you cannot get them to that shoot. During each event, you or your guests must act appropriately and respectfully to us, the Sidemen, and any person involved in the competition, which includes but is not limited to A. Not smoking, being intoxicated or under the influence of drugs. B. Not swearing, using foul or discriminatory or abusive language. C. Complying with all health and safety guidelines and instructions, all applicable legal and regulatory requirements. For example, COVID safety guidelines. If you are not vaccinated, you must wear a mask, for example. And D, not taking any act which in our sole discretion may bring us, the Sidemen, or any involved in the competition into disrepute. So you may not do anything which could defame the Sidemen or damage their reputation. 7.11 Disqualification. You shall be disqualified from entering a competition, and if you have won a prize, we may withdraw the same or recover it to you if it has already been given. Sorry, stumbled with my words there. If A, you breach any of the terms or any other terms relating to the competition. B, you provide incorrect, incomplete, or outdated information in relation to the entry. For example, what's an example? What's an example? A credit card that is no longer in date. C, you commit any kind of fraud, dishonesty, deceit, misconduct, or similar action with respect to the competition. We may disqualify you or any individual who we believe that their participation in the competition may cause harm to our reputation and or bring us into disrepute and or otherwise cause any negative press coverage, including on social media. So, again, don't say anything which could damage their reputation or defame them. In other words, don't get them cancelled, to use a more familiar terminology. 7.12 Cancellation. We shall be entitled in our reasonable discretion to cancel, delay, and or recommence the competition with immediate effect by online announcement without any liability. If a competition is cancelled after a valid claim has been made, we will use reasonable endeavours to offer a prize or any alternative equivalent prize If such alternative prize is offered but not accepted by you, you shall have no claim against us in respect of the cancellation or delay of the competition or for any expense or damage whatsoever incurred as a result. Section 8. Termination of your account. We may in our sole discretion suspend, disable, or delete your account or any part thereof without issuing a refund if we determine that you have violated these terms in any way, or that you or your conduct would tend to damage our reputation or goodwill. If we delete your account, you may not re-register for use of SidePlus under any other username or profile. Presumably, using a burner email will count as breaking these terms of service, so don't do that either. Warranty and limitation of liability. That's section 9. 9.1. We only warrant that we are entitled to grant the rights granted hereunder. 9.2. Except as specifically provided in these terms and to the maximum extent permitted by law. 1. The foregoing warranties set out above define in the full extent of our liability, warranties, and your remedies, and we only accept liability for direct loss as a result of its breach of those warranties, subject and set out in these terms. Stumbled a lot there. I struggle with this kind of language, I'm sorry. 2. Our liability will be limited to the value of any purchase you make during the period of the 6 months prior to such loss and damage arising, or if you have made no purchases, £10. 3. We exclude any and all liability for all representations except those made fraudulently, warranties, conditions, and other terms which but for this notice would have effect. 4. We will not in any event be liable in any way for any consequential loss or damage resulting from the use or inability to use SidePlus, errors or deficiencies in it, damages to property, lost data, loss of actual or anticipated goodwill, computer failure or malfunction, loss of actual or anticipated business, loss of information or loss of actual or anticipated profit, whether caused by negligence or otherwise, even if we have been advised of the possibility of such loss. 5. SidePlus is not for commercial use or use in commercial environment, and we will not in any event be liable in any way for any commercial damage or loss. 6. We will not be held liable if SidePlus has been modified in any manner, not by SidePlus or its licensors, after it has been bought. 7. SidePlus is provided quoted as is. I'll start that again. 7. SidePlus is provided, quote, as is, without warranty or guarantee of any kind, either express or implied, including without limitation. The implied warranties of satisfactory quality, merchantability, fitness, or particular purpose, or no infringement. 8. We do not warrant that the operation of SidePlus will be uninterrupted or error-free, or that errors can be corrected. For example, SidePlus may not be available from time to time for planned or unplanned maintenance or updates. 9.3. Nothing in these terms will limit any of your rights which may not be I'll start again. 9.3. Nothing in these terms will limit any of your rights which may not be excluded under law. This means that notwithstanding any other terms in these terms, 1. Our liability to you or for personal injury or death caused by our negligence is not excluded or limited, nor is our liability to you for any fraudulent representation we make. 2. If your paid for SidePlus content is faulty when we deliver it to you, we will try to repair it or replace it. 3. If we cannot fix that fault within a reasonable time or without significant inconvenience, you are entitled to all of or some of your money. And 4. If as a result of the fault of SidePlus damages your device and we haven't used reasonable care or skill, you may be entitled to repair or compensation. Section 10. Indemnity and remedies. You hereby indemnify, defend, and hold harmless to us our affiliates, officers, directors, owners, licensors, service providers, partners, contractors, employees, agents, and licensees, collectively the indemnified parties, harmless from and against any and all harmless from and against any and all any liabilities, claims, costs, and expenses, including legal expenses and attorney's fees, incurred by the indemnified parties in connection with any claim arising out of any breach by you of these terms or claims arising directly or indirectly from your use or misuse of Side Plus. You shall fully cooperate with us in the defence of any such claim, and we reserve the right at our own expense to assume the exclusive defence and control of any matter otherwise subject to indemnification by you. Section 11. Severability. In the event that any provision of these terms shall be held by a court or other tribunal or of competent jurisdiction to be unenforceable, such provision will be enforced to the maximum extent permissible, and the remaining portions of these terms shall remain in full force and effect. 12. Assignment. We may transfer this agreement to someone else. You may not. Sorry, I've read that so weirdly. We may transfer this agreement to someone else. You may not. We may transfer our rights and obligations at our sole discretion under these terms to another organisation. Section 13. Applicable law. To the maximum extent permitted by local law applicable in the country in which you obtain or use Side Plus, and these terms are subject to English law, and the Court of England shall have exclusive jurisdiction. And Section 4 has contact details. It's an email, and that is the full extent of the terms of the use as detailed on their legals page, accessible at the website. Hopefully I've read through them all in a way that is understandable. Hopefully you can hear me properly. And hopefully you understand the terms of service. If you don't, or you think you need to read through it for yourself, as I've already stated, I will link it in the description to this video that I have posted, wherever I have posted it, and however I have posted it. So thank you for watching and listening, and please subscribe to my YouTube. I'm desperate. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever. Ciao.